podcast, the only podcast where we had a very fun day on Monday. Well, I did. Josh didn't.
Hooray, fun on Monday!
Josh basically was like, I was like, Josh, you have to watch this. This is amazing. And Josh was like, this is another country's political leader being sworn in. And I'm like, it's amazing. And he was like, I literally do not give a shit.
All I know is that the future of Deus Ex is getting more and more realized as days goes on.
No, we live in it.
No, we haven't bombed the US yet.
Oh, no, we're close to it.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's just that we haven't pushed us over.
We're almost at the point now where we're going to get Civil War II Electric Boogaloo, and it's going to be for the most retarded reasons.
Yeah,
it's going to be like Trump made AI that actually heals people with mRNA vaccines, and you're going to be like, and then they're going to be like, and it's bad. It's actually killing black people, and you're like, what? Yeah, it's so bad.
Well, at the end of the day, as long if they go to a civil war and Trump got actually kicked out of office, then it'll be great.
It's more likely it's more likely that if a civil war happens, it's going to be like it will be very much because people are like,
I'm poor. I can't defend. I don't have any insurance left.
It's going to be when the election was happening, I saw some posts that were like very much like, okay, this is interesting that you would have this perspective, and the post basically went, it's really upsetting that World War III might be happening, but what about trans rights? And it's like, okay. Well, one ends up with me dead in a ditch, probably bombed, back to the Stone Age, and possibly
probably incinerated.
Yeah, the other one doesn't affect me at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So either way, I lose because either way, I have to hear about it. But you're seeing it right now with like a lot of people where they're like I need somebody to blow Donald Trump's brain out of his head, and you're like, why? Like, why would you say that? That's a federal crime.
I mean, yeah. Or another thing is maybe you should probably get rid of the Nazi you have beside you.
Oh God, did you watch the full video?
I just saw that clip over and over and just got more and more sad.
Where he literally raised his hand and everyone's like, that's a very weird salute there, man. I don't know. I saw the full video.
There is there's the thing. You saw that video of him doing the quote unquote weird hand gesture. Heart. Yeah. And then as of late, he was talking to the fucking far righters of Germany, and he's like, you need to act now. And it's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, that's a bad, he shouldn't have done that, but I don't care. I literally do not care. And apparently everybody else in the world fucking gave a shit about it. And it's like, why?
Because they still remember that it's bad.
It's like, well, no, because here's the reason why I do not give a shit is I've seen people do that exact salute. I've seen people actually do the Nazi salute in Edmonton. And it's like you're sitting there and you're like, we're just not going to criticize that. Okay, that's cool. Okay, why are we not criticizing that? Well, because we're protesting against Israel. Okay. So because you're on a political side, you get away with it. And then it's like that exact salute happens again, and it's on the right, and it's like, it's bombing back into the Stone Age. It's literally Hitler. And it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, but the National Socialist Party was a very big problem in World War II. So so maybe we should not be ever using that salute at all in any situation.
Ever.
Maybe when you are sitting there and you're criticizing people, and I can go on Google and find a Palestine protester doing that exact salute, and their hand is actually, instead of spread out, it's all together and actually level with their arm, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. So,
what? Well, can't wait for the hell to come over.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. World War III, it's gonna be fantastic.
Or Civil Rights Movement, the version 2.
Civil Rights 2, Electric Boogaloo, probably gonna be white supremacists time. It's gonna be worse.
It's gonna be white supremacists versus other poor people versus rich people
and
versus
you're gonna have people like
government.
Like it's a class issue, and everyone's gonna be like, "Shut the fuck up."
It clearly is a class issue,
I mean, yeah,
but okay.
It clearly is. We're at the point now where it's like people who think that this is a race issue don't seem to understand the issue when you have people like the WEF actively bragging about like how many governments they own, and you're like, I think that we're in a class issue. I think that we need to take. I think the governments need to seize this wealth and redistribute it, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you're at this conference, you should be, quite frankly, taken aside and said, so in the next year, you're going to donate all of your money to charity. And when they go, well, I can't do it. No, you're donating all the money to charity. Klaus Schwab, you're donating the money to charity. Or else what? Or else we're going to fine you into the fucking Stone Age. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if you step foot in Canada, we'll arrest you and we'll fucking throw you away in prison. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Any billionaire that fucking is flaunting their wealth like that, I'm sorry. You just go away. Bye. You're a piece of shit in my eyes. But we have some good topics to talk about this week, and Josh is already not not with me. So,
I mean, I just hate how it's not even past
it's been a week, and it's either been the greatest week of your life because you're like, oh my god, the Martin Luther King files are coming out. Oh my god, he ended DEI.
Oh god, there's so much shit that they're releasing / canning, and I'm like, oh, okay.
They're like,
go for it.
Like, don't worry, guys, we're gonna end the Poland War. And you're like, oh, okay, this is getting, this is getting interesting. This is literally getting interesting. So. It's okay, though. We have Japanese video games with tits and ass in them that we can talk about. That Josh did not play because he is a...
So, the games I did play... hold on, I gotta...
Josh also found out recently why... Josh also found out that he's demonisexual.
Demonisexual?
Oh, didn't you not hear about that bullshit?
What? No?
Oh, so that came back up again. So, people were talking about how they're demonisexual on YouTube again because TikTok came back, and people started realizing that this was going on, and they're like, in between all of the bullshit that's been happening in the industry and everything happening outside of the industry, and all of the people actively fighting with each other and trying to start wars with each other, and the culture war getting worse and worse and worse, they basically were like, hey, this old video of people being like, I'm demon sexual came up on YouTube again, and everybody just collectively went, fuck that shit. It's basically a video of a girl with really extensive eyeliner being like, so we use they them pronouns and demon pronouns, and you're like, so Doom Guy's gonna shoot you in the face, right?
Doom Guy's gonna come around the corner and just be
Doom Guy's gonna be right there with that gun that grinds up skulls and shoot you in the face, right? That's what's gonna happen, right? That's the next part of the joke, right?
Yep.
So Doom Eternal or Doom the Dark Ages was in the Xbox Direct.
Oh yeah, that's the game coming out.
Yes. Josh didn't watch the Xbox Direct because, unlike him, he is.
I have a life.
Yeah, no, you don't. Don't lie.
Oh, I don't.
No,
Oh man, people lie to me as saying I have a life.
Josh. All you do is literally, Josh. I will be like, I went to the movies this weekend. And you'll be like, I'll be like, have you seen this movie? And you're like, no.
Of course not.
I'm like, okay. Hey, Josh, I'm going to play poker this weekend. Do you want to come play poker? And you're like, no. And I'm like, okay.
Actually, because of Baltro, I at least recognize what hand I have.
Yeah. Or my other favorite one is, hey, Josh, we're going to go play airsoft. Do you want to go play? And you're like, I don't want to shoot. I don't want to get shot.
I don't want to run.
I don't want to run or anything like that. Okay.
I don't want to do that. I'm very fat and overweight and not exercise, so it's just bad time.
Next time I'm just going to be like, hey, Josh, we're going to go-karting. I'll just invite you. And then just make sure that you're ready to not come. Yeah. But basically, what ended up happening was... How do I put it? Doom the Dark Ages came out. They basically were like, hey, guess what? We're doing all of the fun stuff for the Dark Ages game. You're going to have a shield. You're a tank. Whereas Eternal, they were like, you're a fighter jet. They've given you more of a melee system. All on one button. You have combos now. And it's like you can throw, you can whip the shield. So it's literally just going to be like, hey... We're doing more Doom Eternal playstyle. You're gonna have lower ammo counts and stuff like that, but it looks fun. It looks like a game that I might like, so I don't care. Yeah, I can't wait for that game to come out. It's gonna be really fun. I don't know.
Is there any other titles from the Xbox?
Yes, there's like 3. So one of them is Expedition 33, which is, I don't want to say it looks like one of the coolest games ever made, but it looks very cool.
I do love how the 1 year on, I think it must have been E3 for Xbox. It came out
and it was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this? I think it was this year's E3. It was like, what the fuck is this? This looks retarded. Who gives a shit about this maiden? Fuck this game.
Yeah.
And you were like, and then it's a turn-based game. And you're like, oh. And then they're like,
no, it was just simply like how Xbox chooses what they think is going to be the coolest thing ever, and them just completely glancing over fucking Cuphead, and then people kind of freaking out over just seeing the 5 seconds we saw of that fucking trailer. And then people go pointing at it going, what was that? Go back. What was that? What was that?
So here's the thing with that is like, I think they learned a lot from that.
Yeah,
because they were like, here's a full 2-minute trailer for Expedition 33. Let us tell you how great this game is, and you're like, I literally do not give a shit. This game,
we're snoring.
This game looks. This game, I don't care. What is this? And then you're like, they're like, it's a turn-based strategy game, and you're like, oh, and they're like, okay, and they're like, okay. It's a role-playing game. It's turn-based. It's like Final Fantasy. And you're like, oh. And then you're like, so it's going to be like that stupid menu and stuff like that. Well, part of it is real time. You're like, oh, you don't say. I don't know. Every single time I see that game, that game has style in a way where it's like, hey, that's kind of cool and interesting. I can't wait.
So Doom Dark Ages, South of Midnight.
Oh, that game. Yeah, South of Midnight was also, they did a little bit more on that one.
Is Expedition 33 this looks familiar to another game that came out.
Yes, it's a sequel to Expedition 34.
To which one?
Expedition, no, I'm making that up. I don't know.
Oh, because at first when I'm looking at this, I thought it was what was that title that everyone 1877 or something like that. It was
Order
like
1877.
Yeah. No. Was it? No, it's the one where it was like the plague time / they have all the future tech on them, and also the game was kind of bombed like unanimously because the whole game was you barely played anything. It was just cutscene after cutscene. It was set in like, oh god, what time frame was it supposed to be?
What was it? Was it Legends of Azil or something like that?
No, I think it was a PS3 title actually. New.
PS4?
I was gonna say New Order, but I don't know if that's actually what it's called.
It might be the Order 1886 New Order.
Okay, it might be that then.
Because the Order 1886 will never be released on PC.
It sounds maybe the devs just were like, no.
Like that's the one that I think you're talking about, and that was a PS4 game that like.
Oh yeah,
I genuinely was like, I should buy this when they closed down the studio.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
because I was looking at the Expedition 33 and I was like, is this just a sequel to that? I'm like, no, it's a little more than that.
No,
it's way better than that. Although it looks like Final Fantasy.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh,
it's French Final Fantasy. Holy fucking shit.
Oh. Okay then.
Yeah. It's literally just
there's nothing wrong with French Final Fantasy.
Yeah. South of Midnight is just an action adventure game. It's their God of War competitor. It's it's supposed to be their like basically like, hey, we're making a new God of War game. You play as a weaver. It takes place. All of it is like basically like you take place during like the 80s. No, it takes place during a hurricane. Your mom disappears. You're a black girl, and you're like, well, let's make the fun game where you have to go find your mom, and you're encountering a bunch of Southern folklore, and you have a catfish who literally tells you everything that happens. And it's like, okay, and it's like really playing into that Southern stereotype, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm okay with this. This is going to be fun. But yeah, no, I'm calmly excited.
You know, for South of Midnight, it does look kind of neat.
It's the game that I'm least excited about. And I left this thing pretty excited about all of the games shown. Because I was like Doom like when I like Eternal, you hate Eternal. Alan vehemently hates that game with a passion. And they're like, hey, it's going to be more of the things that you like from Doom Eternal. And I'm like, cool, fantastic. I really enjoy that style of gameplay. I enjoy having to think about what I'm actually doing and not just running into engaging in combat with a shotgun and being like, oh, does my super shotgun, am I out of bullets on my super shotgun? Fuck, I guess I have to use something else. I
find it interesting. All the animations in this trailer are done in the how would I describe it? Puppeteer or the Wallace and Gromit-esque style.
Which one? Which trailer?
The watching the South of Midnight.
Oh yeah.
Like everything is done in Wallace and Gromit, like a stop motion, which is interesting. But if you played off everything like a stop motion, then I would be like, that would be high marks.
So here's the thing about that game is that game looks. When that game, every single time that game's shown, I always go, I'll play it. I'll play it when it comes out because it's going to come out in April.
I'll play it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I'll play it on Game Pass. And like it's like I'll play it on Game Pass. I'm probably gonna like play through it, but it's like I'm not gonna be like, let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you, I'm gonna play everything on Game. No, it's just like I'm gonna play it once and I'm gonna be like, it's pretty fun. It's like how that's how I do most of the Xbox games now. Now is like I'm like, I should play this, and then I play it, and I'm like, it's okay.
Ninja. Oh yeah, you could go play Ninja Gaiden Black.
Okay. So Ninja Gaiden 4 got announced.
Yeah.
You play as a femboy.
Okay.
You play as very much a femboy.
So he's not the original Ninja Gaiden.
He's not Ryu Hayabusa, let me tell you that.
Oh, man.
He's an edgy 14-year-old.
Oh, we need more of those.
Edgy 14-year-old who looks like a twink. And then they were like, by the way, just because we know that you're going to complain, you can't play as Ryu Hayabusa. It's like, oh, thank God.
Thank God.
They're like, by the way, the Dark Dragon took over Neo Tokyo and died. So now it's like eternally raining, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
It's
cool. Team Ninja. It's interesting. It's great.
Actually, I'm just looking at the Ninja Gaiden Black on Steam, and it looks super nice.
So, I played that game too. I played more Indiana Jones. I played more Dragon Age. I'm actually like enjoying those 3 games. I finished a model kit this week, and then that got announced, and I was like, it's a quick download it. Let's download it. Come on, I want to download it. So I started downloading it, and I didn't play a lot of it on Friday because my friends were coming over to play poker.
Okay.
So I had to clean up my house a bit. But I played it on the weekend, and I put about like a couple of hours in it. I'm on the 3rd level. I just started it. That game. So it's Unreal Engine 5. Let's start there.
Okay.
So it's Unreal Engine 5. It's not a new engine. I think the old ones were built on Unreal Engine. Let me look this up. Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden 2 is a 2008 game developed by and published by Team Ninja and published by Microsoft Game Studio. It was usually they have an engine somewhere. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is Unreal Engine 5. So they actually don't fucking tell you. So it was a proprietary engine. And then they made Ninja Gaiden 3, which I think was a PlayStation exclusive. Which was PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. On the PlayStation 3, you had 6-axis controls. And basically what they allowed you to do on the 6-axis controls was you could, on the female character, you could shake your 6-axis controller and the girl's breast would jiggle.
Jiggle, jiggle.
Jiggle, jiggle. That's the best feature in that game.
Huh.
That's a joke. The Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is Unreal Engine 5. And it is literally the first entire cutscene is basically, hey, here's this sexy female character. She's looking for Ryo Hayabusa and talking to the shopkeep who knows Ryo Hayabusa. Have fun. and then she gets captured by ninjas who are from I think it's the Spider Clan or the Shadow Clan. And Ryo Hayabusa shows up and saves her, and you're like, holy fucking shit, this game's great. I don't know. Do you like Ninja Gaiden?
I think it's kind of, I mean, it's funny. So my history with Ninja Gaiden is, I remember playing the original NES games for like a hot minute when I was younger. And then fast forward to Xbox. I think I tried to play them or tried to get into it, but I just never had an opportunity to play those fucking games ever.
So here's the thing: is like that game is literally. I don't want to say it's like bad, because it's not.
It's definitely tough, isn't it?
It's definitely like, so. Ninja Gaiden 1 Black was. Ninja Gaiden 1 Black was basically okay. Something came up. Ninja Gaiden 1 Black was basically like one of the hardest games on the Xbox X, I think.
Okay.
And it was basically everybody and their dog was like, hey, it's
the Dark Souls of ninja fighting games.
Like it was really like insane. And
I remember that one specific boss, after you kill it, it will explode, including you will die, unless you do a certain move that makes you invincible to the entire explosion.
Yeah. So Ninja Gaiden is a 2004 action-adventure game released in 2004, and then they did Ninja Gaiden 2. Ninja Gaiden was critically acclaimed, sold over a lot of... And then they reworked it, and then they made Ninja Gaiden Black, which was basically... like a reworked version of Ninja Gaiden, and it was only available on Xbox. And then they were like, "This is the game of the year, guys. Let me tell you, it's so great." And that game is basically like a harder version of Ninja Gaiden 1. So Ninja Gaiden 2 is basically an entire remake of Ninja Gaiden 2, and there's some hilarious things in that game that are like, you look at it and you're like, oh, this is like 2008 game. It's amazing because that is the same year I think that Mass Effect 1 came out. And you're like, okay, this is a really good game for like that year. It's fantastic. And you're playing through it and you're like, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden you get up to the point where it's like, hey, Joe Hayabusa is going to like tell you about how great you are and how you've stopped this evil woman who basically, you know, she's evil because she has like weird like things on her face. She has like a weird face tattoo, and like her cleavage is clearly showing, and then in between her cleavage she has like weird like metal things on her breasts so that she's supported, you know.
Is she evil or supporting actor?
I think she's
supporting
evil.
character.
She's literally evil.
Okay, but as evil characters do, that's what you need to do, is put metal bits on or around your boobs.
You have to kind of look 25% Hellraiser. At least 25.
25% Hellraiser. We don't go past 60% Hellraiser.
We don't want to go past 60%. Okay, that's way too damn high. 100,
that's way too damn
100 Clive Barker crawls up your ass and starts screaming at you.
Yep.
But basically, Joe Hayabusa is your dad. And like that game is like literally like you complete a scene and then it's like, okay, well, we have to do X. And you're like, okay, I'm going to do X. And then you end up in another location entirely. So like you go from Neo Tokyo skyline to a serene forest. And that is the entirety of the second level, is like a serene Japanese temple And you're like, okay, that's cool. And then now it's like, okay, you're in New York. And you're like, okay. Combat's great. I'm really bad at it because I'm not an action game guy. But it's like, it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure Josh is going to come in next week and he's going to be like, that game is trash.
I come in next week and go, all right, I've played all the way through of L'Oreal and the Laser Eyes, and this is my entire spoiler session of talking about it, or whatever. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I really enjoy that game. That game's great. And, I didn't know it was on PS. I didn't know it was on PS5.
Okay.
And then they were like, "It's on PS5," and you're like, "Why?" And they're like, "Don't worry, it's on PS5, guys. It's also on Steam." And you're like, "But why?
Why not?"
And then they were like,
because they know deep in their hearts it's not going to sell on their console.
Fuck you. It's actually developed by Koei Tecmo, so that's probably why.
That's why.
So, like, okay, here's my opinion: is that, like, as an Xbox fanboy who owns an Xbox Series X, I've come to the conclusion that the Xbox Series X is a good console.
Oh, you came to that conclusion?
I've come to that final conclusion.
Okay.
Because it actually has more games than I give a shit about on it that, you know, I can play on my PC and stuff like that. But it's like, dealing with the Xbox is easier than dealing with my PC in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And for some games, it's like I would rather just play on PC. I'd rather play Helldivers on PC. I'd rather play a bunch of games on PC.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit, dude! It's just so much easier to just turn on my Xbox and be like, I'm playing Indiana Jones now. Yeah, I can't aim or shit, but I'm playing Indiana Jones. I don't care. And it just turns on, and it's just like, hey man, 2 seconds and you're in.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's what I want from a game console. And it's like, I was looking, somebody did a recent, like, check on Sony's consoles, and they were like, there are 15 exclusives to that console. And it's like, no, there's not. There's a lot less than 15.
Yeah.
Because they're like, Horizon Forbidden West. And you're like, Horizon Forbidden West is on PC.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16, it's on PC too.
On PC.
Stellar Blade, that's coming to PC.
That's also coming to PC. You know, the one game I would love to see is Heavenly Sword.
Which is never going to... If Microsoft,
no, never.
Yeah, Microsoft should remake that. For them. No. Yep. Actually, here's what Microsoft do. They'll remake it and then they'll put it on PS5.
Yeah.
Because they're like, that's a great idea. Let's put it on PS5. What about our own console?
We're not going to put it on Xbox. Definitely not going to put it on Xbox.
But we're on Xbox. That's stupid.
But PlayStation could have it because it's their title. It's fun.
It's going to be completely okay. Sarah Bond pecks me in the ass every other weekend. She makes me in the ass and closed down Tango Gameworks. It's great.
Great.
It's gonna be fun.
It tells me I'm a good boy. He smacks my ass again.
Where on the doll did she touch you, Phil Spencer?
Oh no.
Okay, for those of you who don't understand the joke, this picture of Phil Spencer made the rounds.
Oh dear, I gotta look at it. Good. Oh, he looks like he aged.
Like fucking 20 years.
Yeah, Yeah.
And no, part of that could be lighting.
Yeah.
Part of that could be lighting and like improved video camera. But like you look at like the top one and he's like, these are a year apart. And he looks happy, he's not puffy.
Yeah.
He's not
he actually looks thinner on the bottom one.
Yeah, he looks malnourished.
Fucking, what's with game development making people stress beyond reason?
I
like,
don't
Jesus
know. It's
Christ.
almost like as if he had to fire like 40,000 people.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Bond walked in and was like, okay, bend over.
I kind of wish instead of letting these people lose, they had some sort of strategy of like, hey, there's a lot of you we're letting loose. What if you all just talk to each other and make another company? Like,
so that
would have saved so many jobs.
But the problem is like also there's another problem too, which nobody wants to talk about, which I guess we'll talk about now, which is the industry is full of idiots.
Yeah, that too.
And nobody. So like when company closes down studio, and they're like, well, it's not my fault that the game failed, and you like look at the studio and you're like, people, your game had 600 people playing it. Well, it's not my fault. It's like, I personally wouldn't hire that person either. At all. I would go, oh, well, what did you? Oh, I was a DevOps engineer in the back end. Like, okay. Like, this is the thing that annoys me about, like, whenever anyone brings up Dragon Age Veilguard. Dragon Age Veilguard sold more copies than I think that game had any right to sell. Okay. That's not saying a whole lot. But you look at Western games, and they were like, you look at like them on Steam and you're like, okay, here's 127 players. Here's 600 players. Here's 200 players. Here's 2,000 players. And you're like, okay, that's not a lot of players on Steam. Dragon Age Veilguard had 87,000, which is close to 100,000 players. And it's like, okay, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of things when you compare a Dragon Age title. And we actually now know it's a certified flop. But, like, if we look at that, like, you compare it to every other Western game, and it's like, it's like a little bit short of, like, where Dragon Age, it's a little bit shorter than where Space Marine 2 was. And a little bit shorter than this game, but it beat so many other games that year. And it's just like, maybe that's a big success, but I don't think it is. Like, for comparison purposes, we'll compare SteamDB info.
Like, it just feels like a lot of this studio closing and shutting down and games underperforming and all this shit. It just really sounds like the whoever's the higher up / management is just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing,
pretty much,
and don't not realize that you're chasing a trend. That trend will change tomorrow.
So here's what happened is that they were sat there and they were told a lie. And the lie was that they were told, if you cater to these groups of people who sit there and scream constantly about how they want X, Y, and Z, you will make 20 times the amount of money that you will ever think is possible.
Who the fuck said that?
The McKinsey Institute. I can show you the literal study.
And they think that these people who do that will actually buy anything.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, I'm not saying that these people don't exist. They do.
Oh, but here's the thing: it's like these people say that online, but then at the same time, they will just they either A, don't support it, or B, double cross you and buy something else.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't win with those people because they're straight up assholes.
Well, yeah. So like here's what happened is like they'll sit there and they'll say like, well, if you cater to me, we'll support your game studio and you'll make so much more money and all this sort of stuff. And then the game comes out and it actually fails hard. And then they go, well, we were catering to modern audiences. And it's like, okay, so you were catering to nobody. Because that's what it means. You were catering to nobody. And they're like, no, we were catering to modern audiences. And it's like, right, so nobody. Got it. Fantastic. Thank you. You're so smart. But that's basically what they've been doing. Is like they've been trying to cater to this modern audience, and it doesn't exist. And on top of that, like you have people like me who are like, maybe we shouldn't cater to the modern audience, and we're told shut the fuck up. And it's funny because like when I worked at like Navigator Games, there was a very clear section in the employee handbook which is don't talk politics. And that's kind of one of the reasons why, is because like when you talk about the modern audience, you're like, it gets very political very quickly because you have to cater to a political crazy group of people. Anyways, yeah, Ninja Gaiden Black is good. It's fantastic. Looks great. The tits.
It looks cool.
The breast physics are amazing.
Tits physics.
They're really good breast physics. Their executions in that game. Josh, Josh is going to talk about what he played this week. And then I guess
L'Oreal and the laser eyes.
And then I guess Jeff is going to talk about DEI and politics and how MLK fucking.
And I just slowly fall asleep.
Elon drama. Oh, I guess we talked about the Elon drama.
Yeah, although I'm not sure I was recording.
We'll talk about the Elon drama again, and Josh will be like, he's a Nazi. It's a bad... no, because we have to watch a video, Josh. It's very important we watch that video. The Tesla engineer went over it. So, anyways, Josh, what have you been playing?
So, I've been playing a game that is considered very, I guess, artsy-fartsy is the way to describe it. Kind of Jonathan Blow-esque. But instead, I would say this is more about solving a puzzle of like, oh, you were invited to this giant mansion, but it's basically an escape room, but it's a giant mansion that you're escaping from. And you're invited into this mansion, and you don't have much memory of this mansion at all, but your name's plastered everywhere, and this guy knows you, and you're like, I don't remember talking to this guy. So now your whole investigation is figuring out, why am I connected to this place whatsoever? And there's a lot of fucking puzzles. And it's kind of plays off like it's kind of the Resident Evil series. Kind of plays off like that, except more Resident Evil 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
As like, and also it what was it? The puzzles are good. So far, the story is not confusing at all. Like, you think, because with all this puzzle bullshit, you'd be like, I don't know what the story is, but really the story, it's okay. It's as far as I'm aware with the puzzle and stories. And the puzzle difficulty is really dependent on your ability to spruce out, like, okay, I think I have all the pieces of the puzzle in front of me. I just gotta think of how to use them properly to get the right number to get through the door. And so far, my process of elimination and figuring out what to do, it's like, oh, I solve the puzzle and I keep going forward over and over, and I'm like, yay! Mm-hmm. The only thing that kind of blows is just I've seen this described in many other forums as well. Is
it kicks you in the ass and then bends you over a chair and tells you to go fuck yourself?
No, it's the way that you go through the menus in this game.
Oh, well, I don't care.
It's just the only thing that sucks is that okay, so the main character has this ability of has the photogenic memory.
Oh.
So any clue that you find, she just stores it in her memory banks. And you go an option. You go back on the pause menu. Go all the way back in the pause menu. You can look up every single clue you looked up beforehand, and even books, and go through pages and stuff like that. Just go, oh, I'm in this room. It references gods of mythology or something. So let me go back to the book that talked about gods of mythology. And then you look through the book and you go, oh, there's dates here. Maybe the dates references these statues. I need to put the numbers in properly. And then you go, oh, what's the clue? And like, maybe that was the way you solved the puzzle or something. So that idea right there is great. That actually makes this game like so much smoother to play, just because, oh, I remember seeing that in this other book. Let me go check the book. But the thing that sucks ass is that you have to go through like 4 to 5 different buttons in order to find the piece of clue that you want. And then you need to hit the 4 to 5 buttons again to get out of this fucking menu. So it's like, that could have been smoother. If anything, you're on a computer or on a controller that could have had a separate button just for your memorization of bullshit. I don't know why that wasn't used in the game development of this game at all. That's the only thing that's driving me up the wall about it. It's like, I'm like going through this puzzle. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I bet there's a book on the subject matter that I need to look at. And then I go, oh, I need to go through 5 fucking menus. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It just sucks. Oh, I wish that was just faster and easier. If anything, I wish I can hotkey things to be like, oh, because she has perfect memory, you have these memories, and you know also hotkey them to where you want to. She can have them stored in certain spots in her brain or something. I'd be like, that'd be cool. But no, that doesn't happen. Fucking hell. It's just, you have to constantly go through the 5 menus, go to the memory, go to like, okay, read the pages, then come back out of the fucking pages again. And you're like, a little annoying. But the only thing that kept me pushing through the game is that the weird shit that happens. And the weird shit that happens is eventually, this is spoilers, and I know you're not going to play the fucking thing, so I'm just going to spoil it anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you should assume that, Josh. Maybe I won't play the game. Fuck you.
I don't know. Are you going to play it?
No, absolutely not. I'm not retarded.
It's because, like, the things I will tell people right now,
I'm literally, like, instead of like listening to you talk about this game, I'm literally looking at Seagate expansion cards from my Xbox, so that way then I can expand my memory in my Xbox.
Ooh,
yes, I need more memory for Call of Duty, bitch.
I need a hard drive for Call of Duty.
I need a literal hard drive just for Call of Duty.
And then all my other fun games go on the main console.
Yes, absolutely. That's entirely how it works.
Yep. Anyway, so one of the weird shit that happens is that you discover a lady who jumped out a fucking window and then scribed in her own blood, giving you a piece of the puzzle to use the special key. And then once you figured out how to use the special key, you go to where the woman has died, or jumped out the window, and then you start seeing weird shit that goes on. The weird shit's basically glitching out like a monitor would glitch out.
Oh, yes.
So you start seeing that all over the place, and then you get teleported to the maze. And the maze has its own series of puzzles, and are all weird, and they work on weird kind of portal logic, I would describe it as, because things get split up and broken up and turn into different puzzle mazes and whatever. But once you teleport back, the lady who fell from the window, she's a ghost, and she's telling you that, hey, since you came back, that's great, but the thing is, there's demons running about in the mansion now. So if you see one, you're gonna probably be fucked. I don't know. And it's like, oh, that's great. If I see this fucking spoopy monster, I might die. And once you do see the spoopy monster, it's literally a kind of it's like a shambling corpse, but it has a head of a maze. And also what is coming towards you, it's not walking, it's hovering. So it's just slowly hovering towards you like a zombie would, or at least walking towards you like a zombie, but it's hovering. So it's just slowly coming towards you with his arms stretched, and it's like this most intimidating shit I've seen. And then once it touches you, you go into a puzzle scenario where the maze head has a revolver stuck to your head, and he says, I'm going to give you a scenario. You have to memorize what's in the scenario, and then I'm going to quiz you on that. So the scenario could be whatever the fuck this demon dreams up. So it'd be, and apparently whatever the scenario is supposed to be connected to the character you're playing as, whatever. And in one of the scenario, I made so much notes of what the hell was going on in in this damn dream, in this like this sequence of the puzzle, because it's like, oh, I made notes of like, oh, there's a game of chess being played on the table. There's 5 black pieces on the table. There's 5 white pieces on the table. 3 black pieces on the table. Black lost. There's these like 5 cubes that are around in the room. 3 of them are on the floor. Mm-hmm. 1 of them is on the table. There's 2 coffee cups on the table. There's a chair that's rotated. 1 of them's facing the table. One's facing away. That I made all these fucking notes. And then finally, when I get to the questionnaire, and the guy holding a gun to my head, he's like, "All right, so what was the words that are being displayed on the circle monitor?"
I don't.
And I'm like, "Oh, I know that. That's simple." And then he's like, "All right, you passed." I'm like, "But
You're the best around."
They're like, "You're big smarty pants. Here you go, you go." And I'm like, I thought there's going to be a tough quiz about this. And I'm like, and I wrote all these fucking notes. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That's cool. Like I wrote so much detail of what's going on in this puzzle room. And then it was like, what? It was like 2 + 2 = what? And I'm like, is that the question? All right, cool. Like, oh, frick. But yeah, so far it was just, I am getting more and more figuring out of other puzzles and figuring out where to go and figuring out like, oh, I know I have puzzle pieces for this shit, so I gotta figure that out and blah blah blah. And yeah, it's so far I like it. I'm gonna actually continue to play it probably even today because I'm just really like the game a lot. And if you like puzzle games, I suggest you should play this puzzle game as well. Just get it on sale, because I feel this game, you can kind of, if you're good at puzzles, you could probably wrap it up in like 2 sittings. And I think there's more to play afterwards, because I think there's like, you can play it multiple times and it's different. And what else? Yeah. Oh, and also, this is actually, I think it's from the same developer, or it's the same publishing house. No, you know what? I think it's the same publisher. Yeah, it's publisher.
Yeah.
It's I was gonna say they also made the game called what was it? Outer Worlds, but I'm like, no, that's the publisher that helped put out that game. Outer Worlds is also pretty good.
Outer Worlds, I need to play more.
Yeah, that's the one I've been holding off playing on, simply because like I'm not sure if I would be so into the floating around outer space type of thing, but I don't know. Maybe once on sale again, I'll get it. But yeah. So I think Laurel and the Laser Eyes is super neat, and yeah, I gotta play more of it.
You need to play more. You need to play Ninja Gaiden.
I gotta play more Ninja Gaiden and then throw people up in the air and catch them in the air and then fucking pile drive them.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'll clear my nose. Jeez.
Okay. Shall we talk about sad things?
Yeah.
our last topics. Good news, Josh. There was a couple of layoffs that happened this week.
Oh
yeah, bad layoffs. Who got laid off this week? Couple of studios got laid off this week, so that's bad.
Oh no!
I can't find the names. So that's even better. People are freaking out everywhere. It's great.
No.
So it's great. I have people now contacting me being like, hey, do you want to be part of this direct approach for the media engineer and stuff like that? It's like, no, I don't. I don't care. Fuck off. People are going insane with all of the crap that's going on with game studios and all that fun shit. It's great. And
it's wonderful.
Politics happened. Donald Trump signed a bunch of executive orders. He ended DEI hiring in places.
Because that's totally what was the problem.
Well, he ended DEI at government institutions, and he's like, no, we're reverting back to merit-based hiring. The reason we're doing that is, and then he signed like 2,000 executive orders. One of them was like, the United States government is literally just going to start recognizing male and female genders again. Which okay, there's two issues with that.
Yeah.
So male and female genders, fine, absolutely fine, completely okay. But like the way that everyone's acting is like, well, like gender's a construct, and it's like, okay, let's rephrase this, okay? On the government mandated ID that you're going to get, it's going to say your birth sex on it. Period. That's all that means. And really what they should be saying is like, they should be saying it's sex. It's just sex. What's your sex? What's your birth sex? So that way then when we give you painkillers, you don't suddenly overdose and die. That's all we want. But then there was he declassified the JFK, RFK, and MLK files, which are probably going to say that point blank, oh yes,
the government did it.
Yeah. We should not be trusting the CIA. That's all it's going to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be like, we should not trust the CIA, and then everyone's going to be like, how could you say that? And it's going to be like, we shouldn't trust the CIA anyways. This has always been the case. So there's going to be that, and then there's also other news, other bad news. Josh's favorite character in the whole wide world, did something really stupid.
Oh no, my favorite character
in the whole wide world.
My Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
Mario.
You love him so much.
It was
Elon Musk.
Is he a character now?
Oh, he's becoming one.
Oh, he's definitely a
His
character.
Asperger's really, he rolled a critical one on a check, and so everyone's like, he did a Roman salute. I cite the ADL. The ADL goes, yeah, no, this is not a Roman salute, guys. Shut up.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, this is a Roman salute. I don't understand why this is a big deal. And then now I've been beating into, and then now it's like,
he did it. He did it like twice or three times apparently.
So what happened is he basically wrapped his heart, and he says, "My heart goes out to you," and he spreads his hand out. And instead of doing the normal lecture, he basically throws his hand out and does a literal Nazi salute.
Yeah,
but like, there's a couple things wrong with it.
So you're like, it's not an.
It's not a perfect Nazi salute, but it's a Nazi salute.
It's like we'll say 75% there.
Yeah.
And so people were like, that's a Nazi salute. And it's like, no, it's not. It's kind of it's complicated. It's not, but whatever.
It's a real shitty salute.
Whatever you want to say it is. It's really bad, and he shouldn't have done it. And so you have a bunch of people freaking out and being like, it's. And so a Tesla engineer made a very good video which explains in gruesome detail what Elon did. We're gonna try and watch it together and we'll comment on it.
Why a Tesla engineer?
Well, because Tesla engineers are the best engineers. I mean, we can't get a SpaceX engineer, Josh. They're under NDA.
My eyes are trying to not fall in the back of my brain.
Well, Josh.
Like, I don't quite understand why it has to be a fucking engineer from
Tesla?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why you acting like as if I'm supposed to know this shit?
And also, is the engineer critical of him or supporting him?
Let's just watch the video. So we'll stop. Okay, so we're 12 seconds in. Okay, the video's a 1 minute 21. So right now, he said he agrees with me. He doesn't understand what the hubbub is. Okay, I kind of understand the hubbub. There's a little bit of hubbub. I think that people are going to be fucking stupid. Okay, so clearly he did about a 90 degree, very clear, and that's not one, and that's a 135. That's the Nazi index right there, Josh. So that's when you do a 135. That's really bad. You're a Nazi. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're, if time 250 on a clock is Nazi propaganda, Josh. Bet you didn't know that.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a different contextual situation.
Yeah. Oh, the beach chairs, Nazi propaganda. Clearly. Okay. We're getting to the point now where a bunch of woke assholes are like, oh my God, beach chairs? They're Nazi propaganda? Yeah. There's also a frown right there, so we have to cite that too.
We don't have 10 more degrees. It's upside down. Smile.
It's very different. Very different.
Okay.
So as time has gone on, this is one of those things where it's like I watched the video and I was like, no, that's not Nazi propaganda. And then now I'm like, I don't care that much. I'm not going to argue with people. It's stupid. It's dumb.
It's like okay, it's a one-off thing. You clearly didn't do it twice. God damn it!
It's like the more things that come out of it about it. It's like well, you should totally give more shit about. And I'm like, I don't care. I couldn't give a rat's ass.
The only here's the thing. I start caring is that when their hellhole of a country goes down such a pit, it drags us in with it. Then I start caring.
I will give a shit when. Is that the video player? Hold on. Oh,
what?
Nothing. Never mind. So I was just gonna say, I will give a shit when there are actually like really bad things going on down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When that happens, then I'll start kind of giving a shit. That's kind of the reason why I started giving a shit about the United States politics, is Joe Biden was a fucking idiot and dumbass. And now they're finally coming out and being like, yeah, he did have dementia. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the reason why I care. But right now it's just getting to the point now where it's like I don't care. I don't. This happened like lots before, and people kind of freaked out, and people were constantly being like, "Oh well, let me tell you, Trump's going to put up genocide camps," and you're like, So we're gonna have
God.
murder camps and stuff like that down there, and they're like, yes, and you're like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I was gonna share this video.
Yeah, it might happen. There might be World War III, but I don't know. I'll join the activity. So
yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I just can't care anymore.
I mean, I know it's getting to the point of like extreme fatigue of like, oh, what else is going to happen?
Okay, every 5 fucking seconds you're bitching about Trump. Cool. Like, can I complain about how Justin Trudeau fucking fucked me over this week? Because he keeps doing it.
How does Trudeau fucked you this week?
He kicks me in the balls.
He just comes to your house and gives you
kicks me in the balls, yeah.
He gives you a one swift kick in the nuts.
He came to my house, punched me in the balls, and then told me to get the fuck up. Be a man. It was weird.
A funny thing is, I can see this happening in like a South Park episode.
Yeah. No, it's like, can I start complaining about like how Kurtzman keeps destroying Star Trek and burning it to the ground, and how every single time Kathleen Kennedy does something with Star Wars, she has to find a way to insert a chick in it and make it gay, her layman gay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like can I complain about like how Halo has gone from a franchise that I loved and cared about, and then they made a TV show that now I'm just like,
Well, I don't know. There's actually been one show I've been watching of thousands of clips.
Can I talk about how anime used to be amazing and now I just don't give a shit?
I mean, you can still find amazing anime.
There's good anime.
Yeah, you just gotta look for it.
Mm-hmm.
The one show I'm watching 1,000 clips of, and I'm like, I should probably watch this if I ever get a chance. Lower Decks, the Star Trek. Basically, it's kind of their Star Trek answer to a bunch of the sci-fi comedy shows that have been coming out. They're animated, and
so for people who don't understand, Josh has just admitted to being a little bit retarded. Now that's okay, Josh.
God damn it. But anyway, Lower Decks.
Star Trek.
Yeah, it's Star Trek, but the funny thing is that the Star Trek is actually it's both poking fun at the dumb shit, and then it still doesn't feel like it's like, oh, isn't this really fucking dumb and stupid? But it's more of like it's fun and stupid, and it's great. That's why I think the show is great, because it's like isn't this really stupid but amazing? Like, yeah,
it's really so. What it is literally somebody was like, "Hey, let's put Rick and Morty in Star Trek," and you're like,
"Yeah, pretty much."
It's like, okay, that works, but maybe
I think the reason why it works is because the cast that you follow is not your traditional like, oh, this is your high officers, this is your, people who are on the bridge and they're doing these high executive decisions and bullshit. No, these are the lower guys and the lower decks that are doing all the grunt work.
But here's the thing with Star Trek was it was always supposed to be a show about like how basically the
societal
it was
problems and bullshit.
It was supposed to be a show about like, hey, here's how society progresses and stuff like that. Whereas this is like Rick and Morty bullshit.
I mean, there is still more. Actually, it's not necessarily about societal bullshit, but it is more about like
it's well, okay. Let me rephrase this. It's not. The way that Star Trek should be is it should always be a very positive and good, like, message. There should be interesting stories about how the characters interact with each other and how there's social political issues in the show. And this show is literally supposed to be a comedy. And it's just like, I don't know if that works for Star Trek. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I haven't watched the show. It's only on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, and also I've been watching like a couple of dozen clips on YouTube, and I keep walking away from it going like, I think I like this show and I should actually watch it.
I kind of want, like, here's the thing is, like, there's a couple of episodes where I'm like, the Moopsie episode, I kind of am like, yeah, I should watch this.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's other episodes where I'm like, it's not like, it's like Rick and Morty, where it's like, I'll watch an episode and I'll feel really good about it. And then there's other episodes where I'm just like, I don't care.
I mean, so far, the thing I do like about it is that there was a bunch of tropey things about Star Trek, and also like references that they make that even the characters go, you can't explain this. Even our future tech can't explain it. And it's like, I'm sure it can explain it, just not now. like the one good question was in the show, it was kind of more of a throwaway line, but it was like, look, even science can't explain everything. And the character goes, no, science can't explain everything. And they go, oh yeah, what about the Q? And they just go, I'm sure science has an answer for that. Like, the most bullshit character in existence, Q, and even the character's like, I'm sure science has an answer for this. To some degree. It was the one quote. I was like, yeah, it's totally bullshit. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's just kind of dumb. But also the misadventures on that show. I don't know. Every time I walked away from that show, I was like, I should watch this. It actually looks like a good time.
I don't know, man. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know. The problem is like you're talking about like I could subscribe to Paramount Plus.
Oh, just do. Hey, there's a boat for you on the open seas.
No.
There's always a boat for you. There's always.
Here's the bad thing about having a friend who's a pastor.
Put on.
Here's the bad thing.
Patch.
Here's the bad thing about having a friend who's a pastor is like you admit that stuff to him, and he's like, "Huh? Is there any other sense you would like to talk to me?" You're like, "I've been thinking
or
about."
Any people over in your car gives you a lesser sentence.
God fucking damn it, man. You're like, I've been looking at buying a hooker. And you're like, and then he's like, interesting, yes. And you're like, what are you doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? I came for a nice conversation, and now we're talking about sins and how I'm going to hell and shit. Fuck.
Yep.
Even though, like,
now then. The next lesson is how to make a pipe bomb.
Fuck you. Next lesson is, hey Jeff, we're coming in. Hey, it's the CIA here. We're just wondering. We just have a couple questions to ask you, there, bud. So, when did you start hating the president? What?
Hold on, I hate the president. You should talk to my friend of mine.
I recently, I don't know.
And you're like, but yeah, the friend of mine, you can find him. He's easy.
He'll admit to it too.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't like him. He sucks.
He's a piece of shit in his eyes. It's weird.
He's a big poop.
He's a big mean poo-poo head.
If anything, he looks like the poop I had after eating too much fatty foods.
You literally were like threatening to block me 5 seconds ago. About 2 hours ago. An hour and 30 minutes ago. About me talking about my shits, and you were like, fuck. Stop. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Literally 2 hours ago.
Like, that's disgusting. Stop talking about it.
But here, the thing is, I got to be in the right mindset, and B, I usually just start it and stop it. I don't continue forever. That's the big thing. You gotta go max speed and stop immediately, breaking all your bones in your body.
Clearly.
Yes, that's the only way. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna watch this video.
Cool.
Okay, that's
this
it.
Song's pretty okay. It's mid.
It goes on for 2 minutes. I love it.
It's mid. So thank you everyone for listening to the Black Point Games podcast. You can listen to us every Thursday on Black Point Games, the podbean.com. You subscribe to us on our favorite podcasting app choice. Thank you, Josh. Thank you everyone for listening to us. Have a good day. Bye.
Corporate suite, profits were high, man, life was sweet till the cameras flashed, and oh my word, the CEO's hand just kinda jerked. Oh no, what did he do? That's not a way, buddy, that's bad news. Tried to play it cool, tried to play it slick, but now he's trending and it ain't quick. Oopsie daisy, made a big mistake. Now the board is calling, got a PR quake. One hand up, one career down. Hope the golden parachute can save her now. Meanwhile, across town, in a penthouse suite, another CEO's got a different feat. Said power's a game, gotta play it right, but he took submission to a new hire. Oh no, caught in the act. Leather and lace, he ain't coming back. Photos leaked, stock took a dive. Now his investors want him to resign. Oopsie daisy, made a big mistake. Now the board is calling, got a PR quake. One hand up, one career down. Hope the golden parachute can save him now. Meanwhile, across town, in a past town, in a penthouse, one lost his job, the other his pride. Leather and lace, he ain't coming back. Photos leaked, stock took a dive. Now his investors want him to resign. Oopsie daisy, made a big mistake. Now the board is calling, got a PR quake. One hand up, one career down. Hope the golden parachute can save her now. Meanwhile, a lost job, the other his pride. Leather and lace, he and other got tied. So the moral of the story, if you lead the pack, maybe keep both hands behind your back. Oopsie daisy, reputations burn. One's in exile, the other's still sore. Corporate kings fall in so many ways. Guess it just ain't their lucky day.
The worst game there was, I think it was South of Midnight.
Okay.
Which South of Midnight as a game is like the most uninteresting game ever. And then like when you hear about it, because it's made by the guys who made We Happy Few.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So like if you remember that game was like basically like everyone was like, oh my god, this is going to be the next BioShock. This is going to be so great. And then it came out and it was a survival game. And you actually had to like, the main mechanic was you had to switch between dreary, self, unhappy versus like a character who literally is like high on like meth.
That was like literally the point of the entire game. And everybody's like, well, it's so god, it's so bad. And like then the game like actually came out and it was terrible. So South of Midnight's made by those guys. And it's like they're like, it's going to be so amazing. Let's tell you how amazing it is. And it's like, okay. And they're like, it's designed, it's a Southern black girl. Okay. Already we're off on a great foot here. And then it takes Southern folklore for all of the enemies and stuff. And you're like, is she gonna call me Sweet Pea? Because that would be great. And they're like, no. And you're like, fuck. We're getting really close. We're getting really close with these concepts here, guys. Really close. Really close. Hope you can land it. But that was like the least interesting game there. Ninja Gaiden 4 got announced. Which new protagonist. And I'm sorry, but the best feature of Ninja Gaiden 3 will not be present. Do you know that feature, Josh?
I didn't know that feature.
So there was a feature in Ninja Gaiden 3 where if you shook the controller on the PS5 or PS3 6-axis,
right,
the boobs would jiggle.
Oh, right. I think I remember that.
Because when they were developing the game, they were like, what would 14-year-old boys like? I know this. And they're like, I know.
Make them jiggle.
Yes. Breasts make them jiggle.
I know also that the OG designer of that franchise, but huge creep.
Oh, like Ken Kutaragi, who got kicked out, wore a leather jacket all the time, and sunglasses.
No, it wasn't him. It was the other guy. It was his face looked like he did drugs.
Creator of Ninja Gaiden.
Because the one I'm picturing in my head, I know that's him. Or Dead Alive series.
Platinum Games technical creators. Jeez. This guy? Igaki?
I don't know, but post a picture. I can't. Yeah, this guy. This guy's supposedly a huge creep.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And then he finally got kicked out.
It's interesting because when he did, Team Ninja immediately was like, hey, we're making a new franchise. And then they made Neo, and everyone was like,
yeah.
So amazing. So shall we sync in 3, 2?
Oh wait, where are you talking from, by the way?
Hold on.
Because it sounds crappier.
Oh, it does?
It does.
Oh, I wonder if the PC updated and changed my sound settings because it's a fucking PC. Oh my god, no, it didn't. I'm actually talking from my mic.
Really?
Yes. Hold on.
Huh. Because if anything, it sounds like you're talking in the middle of a hallway.
Hello. 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 Hello? 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 Hold on. Testing? Testing. 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 Okay, I think it's better. It's better.
There you go.
It's better.
So sync in 3, 2, 1.